Alright, here's video 6. It's quotient of power, so it's very similar to what we just did on the front, but you're kind of applying both. Oh, let me focus this. You're applying both your multiplying and your dividing rules from the pink page. So we have a division problem ready, and you're going to write it out 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and then you're going to, just like when multiplying fractions when you were in middle school, you're going to multiply across the top and then across the bottom. And then we'll look to see if we can simplify. So on the top, we have b to the power of 3, 6, 9, 12. So we're still multiplying. On the bottom, we have b to the power of 2, 4, 6, 8. And then now you're going to simplify that by dividing, because we have b's on top and b's on the bottom. Since I have 12 b's on top and 8 b's on bottom, I would have 4 more on top, so my answer would be b to the power of 4. You need to write it out. You can do that. We have 8 on top, 8 on bottom to cross out, and you're left with 4 on the top. Okay, you can do that. Sometimes you can also simplify it first. So if this was my problem, here's the other way to do it. 5b to the third power over b to the second power 4 times. If they're simplifying inside of the parentheses first, you can do that. So if I simplify that, I would get a total of b to the 4th power. Sometimes it works out that easy, and sometimes a little bit more difficult. So whatever way you think is easier when we go through the examples. All right, on the next one, I just want you to expand it out and rewrite the problem. I'll give you about 15 seconds to do that. All right, you should have written 3 sets of parentheses. You have x to the 4th over y, x to the 4th over y, x to the 4th over y, and then we multiply across the top. X to the 4th times x to the 4th times x to the 4th would give you a total of x to the 12th. Y times y times y would be y to the 3rd. There's x's on top, y's on the bottom, no more simplifying, so your answer is already simplified, and that's it. Okay, on the next one, we have x's on top and x's on bottom, so you can simplify it first and then expand it out, or you can expand it out and then simplify after. So you should be able to do that example on your own. Go ahead and work that out. I'm not going to go over that one. So I'm going to ask you to pause the video now and then go ahead and work it out. Okay, we should be on the 4th example now. So like one of the examples on the front, this -3 is not in parentheses, so it stays in the front. You can simplify first, or you can expand it out. I'm going to go ahead and expand it out and write it 4 times. Alright, so I multiply across the top. This -3 would be on top. -3 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. I'm going to go ahead and do that in my calculator really quickly. Go ahead and do that while I'm doing it up to the side here. Just got -48. A times A times A times A would be a to the 4th power. B to the 3rd times B to the 3rd times B to the 3rd times B to the 3rd would be B to the 12th. On the bottom, 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. Give me a second to do that in your calculator. Should get 256. A to the 2nd times 2nd times 2nd be A to the 8th. Now we need to simplify. So remember, we take our coefficients and we divide them. You do not subtract them. So it would be negative 48 divided by 256. If you get a decimal, you turn it back to a fraction. Remember, math, fraction. And you should get negative 3 over 16. And then 8 to the 4th can simplify with 8 to the 8th. There will be 8 more on, the 8 is bigger on bottom, so there will be more on the bottom. So the difference between 8 and 4 is 4, so it would be 8 to the 4th on bottom, b to the 12th on top. If you need to write this out and do your canceling to remember that, that's perfectly fine too. And you can see that there's more a's on bottom, so that's why the a stays on the bottom. All right, to do the last example, and then get this page checked. If you came up with the shortcut, I need you to write it out and check it before you move on and practice this. Again, like on the front of this page, I highly recommend you don't come up with a shortcut. You just expand it out and apply your multiplying and dividing rules.